Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, Coach Mike here. We're getting into a home banded chest and back push-pull themed workout. I'm running a little tight on time because a call kind of went over. So we got about 40 minutes. So I'm going to bust this out a little bit quicker. We're going to modify a couple of things. But in general, I try and get my workouts to be about 45 minutes anyway. Which is going to be a little bit more efficient today. With that being said, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to start up my clock to let us know that the workout has started. If you guys want to come back and do a replay of this and circle back for the workout, feel free to. If you guys are watching this live, keep in mind the first person to comment, not only live, but the first person to comment on any of the content that I repurpose from this, you are going to get a $50 gift card to LOF. All you have to do is comment, show that you're the first one, take a screenshot, and shoot it to the email that I have in the description here. It's lifeofafighter@gmail.com. Take that screenshot, shoot me an email, let me know you were first, and I will send you that $50 LOF gift card. With that being said, let's get into the workout. First things first. If you've ever followed along, you already know I'm going to get a 2-minute warm-up here. And then I'm going to get a 2-minute shadow boxing warm-up. I'm going on the ball first, and then we will get into the dynamic stretching and the rest of the work. Again, we're doing a push and a pull, chest and a back style workout, building on the fun for the week, and we're heading into the holidays. I might even come back later tonight. We're going to see how time goes and how everything goes with the kids. Might even doing a little meal prep cooking demo because I had one of my daughter's friends mention that just watching the way I cook is almost entertaining in and of itself as far as like how I like to chop up the meat and do these different things. So I'm curious to see if you guys will be interested in that. We're also going to do another crock pot recipe. It's probably not going to be tonight, but maybe tomorrow or Sunday. I'm going to do a slow cooker recipe. We have our high protein chicken noodle soup. That's the next one we're going to be doing. More than likely tomorrow. Maybe it'll be tonight. We'll see. But I'm also going to probably do some other meal prep as well. With that being said, we've got about like 30 seconds left here. Now I realize I don't have my backup phone. I'm going to also be going live on TikTok. That's the one thing I didn't set up. I keep liking to play with where I'm going live, where we're streaming these things, and how you can watch it, because I want to try and, again, reach as many people as we can to offer as much value and have as much support. So if you guys have a preference, feel free to let me know. And wherever you're watching this, please feel free to follow, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Lets me know where we're at and time. And it also helps you guys when I'm going live. Sometimes I'll do pop-up stuff. You'll be able to see it coming. So I'm going to go grab my phone. And there we go. Hey, what's going on? So Elita Goat, you are the first comment on that particular YouTube channel. So take a screenshot, shoot me an email, and I will send you that $50 gift card. Well done. We have the email right there in the description. While I'm doing that, I'm going to get live on TikTok over here as well. I'm going to get it on my backup phone. 1080p. While I'm doing that, though, I'm going to start just getting some shadow boxing in. Jump rope. Dude, I got to say, even after doing my VO2 max training yesterday, even my shoulders are a little bit sore from how hard I was going, especially my abs and my hip flexors. So I'm feeling it. I'm probably going to adjust today. All right, before we go into it, let me get TikTok pulled up here. We're going to get live on TikTok as well. Get that piece rocking. How's everybody's Friday going? Also, again, kudos for being the first comment on YouTube. You can go to our next YouTube channel. Of course, my phone's going to be super slow in setting everything up. Then again, we're getting into chest and back. Bands, we might even use some dumbbells, but everything I do today, you can just use our LOF band set, which I have hanging behind me here. Boom. Yeah, we got the heart rate up to 120. We're trying to get it to between 130, 150. While I'm doing this, I'm also going to try and see if I can get my TikTok set up at the same time. We got the multi-purposing. This is where the ADHD brain kicks in. I had a coaching call that was just running a little late. And I don't know if any of my coaches are out there, but if you can relate, I didn't want to just like cut the call off midway through or where we were not coming to a complete goal, even though we had reached time. So kind of went a little overrun. But that's okay. Here we go. We got the live rocking. Okay. I'm going to call it pretty much 2 minutes there. I'm going to get this set up. And then we will get into the rest of the movements. The thing I like about using the bands and the ball is, to me, it's not only, again, getting body temperature up, but it feels like a dynamic warm-up in and of itself for getting certain ranges of motion, getting certain muscles activated and primed. So let me pull up. All right, we're going to do a press supersetted with a pull down. So we're going to, again, use I have the Gym 1 pull-up bar set. You don't need this. You can just literally use our LOF set here with the bands to pretty much do everything. But since I have the Gym 1 here, I like using it to be able to set up. So we're going to get set up for our first superset, and we're going to use some of the adaptations we have here. For example, I'm going to go from the floor, and we're also going to, with that press, let's get some music rocking. Okay. Here we go. Now we got in our, let's see if we can get the speakers rocking. All right, now I'm just going to get my planner because we got to track everything. Part of it. So we got our good old planner and my journal. I'm going to jot everything down. Super. All right, and then again, if you guys got questions, feel free. Oh man, we got the 6-7 rolling already in the chat. I see. Hey, I mean, even that counts as a comment. I got you. Take a screenshot, send me an email. I got you a $50 gift card, even with the 6-7s going like crazy. Okay, so first superset, we're doing a press with a banded pull down. All right, I'm going to set up right here. We'll go live over there. We got press. Normally I like to have 3 supersets of exercise, but because we're tight on time, I might have to modify that a little bit. Okay, let's go rocking. So the first thing we're going to do is a banded press. I'm going to modify this a little bit. Pull the slack out. This is going to be like probably the most resistance I'm going to end up going with today, so I'm going to pull that off to the side. What I will do is I'm going to start with a little bit of a lighter band set with my purple band, which gets to about 80 pounds of pressure at the end. So we're going to start with that. And the cool thing is, again, because we have the Gym 1, I can modify the angles if I need to close the door, but it's actually going to be a pretty good. So with that being said, actually, you know what? Keep it right there. I'm going to grab our handles. We're going to clip them on and get into our press. Actually, the handles are not. Get right into a press. Now I'm going to change the angle here. So we're going into an applied down force. So I can get right underneath. I'm going to stagger my stance. And dude, I got to pull back. I've lost quite a bit since getting my rotator cuff injury. So we're going to have to back it off even to 60 pounds. A little humbling right here, y'all. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm also kind of rushing through this, if I'm being honest. Normally, I would do like a nice warm-up round, but right into the front. So again, nice staggered stance, anchoring. We're going for 10 to 15. So this is like a decline press angle. Now I'm going to swap it. Honestly, I'm probably going to throw in the yellow bands with that. Now we're going to throw on the purple bands, and now we're going to do a lat pull down. So again, I'm going to sit down for this one. I'm going to change the camera angle so you guys can kind of see as I get down to the ground. And again, if you have questions, feel free to let me know. I'll gladly answer where and what I can. Everyone subscribe, right? Daddy knows. Get it, Dad. I appreciate you. You know what's up. And again, feel free to say hey in the chat. First person to comment on each one gets a $50 gift card. And again, what I like to do is I like to go into a staggered using the wall where necessary. Oh, yeah. Purple's just. All right, so we're going to take a minute rest. That's our first superset down and in the books. Again, now get warm. Hoodie's already coming off. Hoodie's coming off. Yeah, I appreciate you, dude. It always helps. It says everyone. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It totally does help. All right, so again, we got decline. Did black band. 15, and then pull down. Purple band. So again, whether you use our app, the LOF app, you could track it, or you could use your planner. I'm using the actual planner because I'm using all my phones and my technology to record all of this fun stuff. But however you want to do it. And again, when you get the band set, it's an entire training system. That's why I'm like literally just using the bands for the next year predominantly to show you what's possible as far as training, resistance, and even my own strength and body composition shifts. Also got the Clean Nutra, the powdered sticks pre-workout going. You can literally just drop it on your tongue. But I gotta be honest, I've been enjoying just drinking it. That being said, we're already at the minute. Time to get into round number 2. Now, I did say this was a little light, but I'm just being a little cautious. I'll be honest with you guys. Since having this rotator cuff injury, I've been quite mindful of where my resistance is going for upper and lower body. I'd rather focus on range of motion control. I'm saying it right. All right, now we'll go to the lat pull down again. In that purple. Now what I'll probably do actually is I'm going to sit back here on the opposite side so you guys can see the front angle position. So you get both angles. You get the back side, you get the front side. We get all those sides. Again, I can use my legs straightened, but I'm going to kind of anchor them right here on this lip. Now we're going 10 to 15. One more. Yeah, I can feel the impact. So here's the cool thing. Even though, so that's round 2 down. I got one more round on this superset. Even though I've had like a little bit of a strength drop off since this rotator cuff injury, the cool thing about our body is the strength gains will come back quite quickly. And also just to even maintain a certain level of strength, it doesn't take as much volume as it does to develop your initial strength. So I'll get the strength back quite quickly, and then also to maintain it doesn't take as much work, which is pretty sweet. All right, well, I appreciate you stopping by. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the handles on now. If you watch any of these streams I've done in the past, I have 2 sets of handles. We have this set that comes with the bands, and then I have like a little bit of an added aftermarket option. So the set that comes with the bands are right here, our straight bar handles. They're okay. Nothing fancy, but they get the job done. The ones that I really prefer, though, were sent to me from a company as a gifted product that have a nice, like, handled grip. And they just are a little bit friendlier. So I'm going to clip those on for the last round. Specifically, I'm going to do it for the pull downs, not for the pressing. The pressing, I don't really need handles as much, if I'm honest. It's the pull downs that I find it to be the most impactful for this push-pull type of dynamic. Because we upgraded the actual clip size, it's easier now more than ever to get them on and off. Okay. So again, one more set of a decline banded chest press. You can do incline, decline, regular strength. Just change it. It's based on the angle. So we're going. Tell him, Biggie. All right, there's 15. So yeah, I did the back angle. We're gonna go back and forth here, going back to the back angle. We did back, we did front, going back to the back angle. This way you can see the handles now, and again, I'm anchoring them with my feet.
I'm a bad boy. Niggas wanna front, who got your back? Niggas wanna flex, who got the gap? It ain't hard to tell my cheap hope overdose. The nigga you can't give a poster. Nigga, I told you, put fear in your heart. Fuck up the party. Is he drunk over any stuff?
So that's last superset number 3. Take a minute. Go into our next superset round. 15. Let's see what we got next. So I did that. So now, yeah, we're going with flies and banded rows. So we're just going to change the angle here a little bit for the rows specifically. For the flies, we're going to predominantly keep it the same, but I'm going to play with that too. What we're going to do is we're going to pop the actual gym one hanger out. We're going to use our anchor. So again, we get to go into my nifty bag of stuff. Take our anchor out. We're just going to slide that in the door. Because I want to use flies, I'm going to do it from the bottom anchor. So I've got that anchor point right down here. Now I can slide the bands through. And voila. I've got fly variation. I'm going to do this as a seated fly variation. So we got the tension. I could do it even from down here. That's going to be too much 4-leaf for my chest is at, especially with the rotator cuff, so we're going to modify here a little bit. That being said, we're already at the 1.5 minute mark. Again, I find positioning to be key here. So I want to have just enough tension at the bottom and being able to get that top end resistance. Again, we're going 10 to 15. All right, there's our 15. Now we're going to go over the rows. For this one, I'm actually probably going to swap out. I think the black bands are going to be perfect on this one for both the flies and my rows here. So I'm going to just take the handle off, pop it onto here. We'll switch it to the opposite side. And again, this is what is so cool about the bands and having the set is how versatile they are and how simple it is to swap out from movement to movement. All right. Again, now we're going into that, again, bent over position, banded row. I'm getting some tension in my bands. I'm going into a supinator. So I'm going from palms down to palms up here. All right, that's round one down, y'all. Take a minute or so to rest. Do it again. All right, we're gonna have to kill that. So my Amazon stream got taken down because apparently I have too much vulgar language. So we're gonna change up the song, change up the image. We're gonna go back live. Okay. Yeah, I figured it was a matter of time before certain music would get us flagged, but I'm surprised it took that long. Or actually, I'm surprised that it happened now that it didn't prior. So we got what? 15 more seconds. We got back into round number 2. I'm going to write down the weights up. Incline. We got black band. And then we've got same thing. 15. Again, the goal is to do 3 different supersets of movements. I might only get to 2 today because it's already at 11 or 12:40 where I'm at. And now I got to be out of here in like 15 minutes. So we'll see. But with that being said, this is the second superset of exercises. Our first superset of exercises was our decline press with the bands. I had it anchored up high, pressing down to mimic a decline press. And then I had my lat pull down from the floor. Now we're going into our chest flies. It's more of a considered an incline chest fly. Because again, if we think about where the angle of force is coming from and what it would be representing, this type of positioning and angle would really represent more of an incline chest fly, even though I'm kind of sitting upright, based on, again, angle of force. And that's because now I've added the handles. I'm going to have to tweak. I'm actually going to scooch up a little bit since they give me a little bit more, or a little bit of slack, I should say. This is the one thing I appreciate about working at home is I can get as loud as I want. I don't have to have people looking at me like I'm crazy. Or at least I don't see you guys looking at me like I'm crazy. One more. Boom. Now, supersetting again with our rows. Yeah, I'm starting with my palms down, facing away. I might even see if I can create a different angle here so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. And as I'm rowing, I'm turning my palms up. A little bit more tension. Okay. So we're going to rest a minute. We got one more superset. So again, we're shooting for 3 supersets of everything today. I have just enough time for my 3A and 3B movements to follow, which let's see what those are going to be. Did flies. So we're going to do a regular flat chest press and a seated row instead of a bent over row. But I'm probably going to substitute that for a good morning since we already did row variation. So I'm going to do a floor press with a good morning. Good. That's going to be our third superset. We'll get into after this one. We got what, like 15 more seconds. And we're going to get into it. You know, that's what I love about the bands, the versatility, and also it helps being a coach and literally doing this for a living. I can easily adjust on the fly. But the thing is, if you have challenges adjusting on the fly, when you get our band set, you get access to our app, you get access to our coaches, you get access to our AI system that can literally help you troubleshoot, like, hey, how should I substitute this? Even in our app, you can hit the substitute button and it'll have any kind of movement you can substitute it with if you're not certain. So you have some support there. But with that being said, one more round on our flies and rows, and then we're going to go into a press and good morning. So again, I'm just creating a little bit more tension by scooching forward a bit more. Not so, again, I always go back to the versatility of the bands. If they allow that to scooch over here. Yeah, starting to have it add up here in these volumes, man. I can tell I haven't been working my push-pulls as much. Fatigue is real. All right, last round. All right, so that's the last round on this superset. We got one more superset of exercises coming up, which is going to be the floor press with the bands, supersetted with our standing good mornings. So I'm just going to kind of modify that a little bit. Probably going to use the black bands for the standing good mornings and use either my purple or green from the floor press perspective. But again, look how simple it is to take, again, swap from our anchors in the bands to throwing up our Gym 1 pull-up bar set. It's just like, I love the versatility. Again, simple to hang up the bands or for your kids to play with. I know all of our daughters absolutely love this thing. Love being able to play with it and just spring from it and all that fun stuff. All right. That's right at the minute mark. Get into our superset. So first round, we're getting it from the floor. So I'm going to pull this angle down just a little bit so you guys can see. You guys come down here. Come down here with me, TikTok. Check it from the floor. The reason I'm a big fan of the floor press too is because, again, my rotator cuff have had a lot of injuries. And the cool thing about working it from the floor is you put less of a tax on your shoulders and your rotator cuffs. Again, if you have healthy rotator cuffs, healthy shoulders, maybe the floor press isn't for you. There's still benefit. You're really specifically targeting your chest versus the shoulders. And from a performance standpoint, I find a lot of benefit as well. But this just tends to be a really helpful position to move. And I even like straightening the legs sometimes, but really you're going to get the most power having your feet rooted and rotated into the ground. So I'm going to just rotate here to help show and demonstrate my positioning and engaging, driving, going for 10 to 15. All right, so there's our 15. Again, now we're going to superset this with our good mornings. So change the angle here if we need to. I'm going to just check in to see how that looks. So for the good mornings as well, setup's quite simple. You literally are just going to step on it, anchor it with our feet. Now the key here is we can do a Zercher good morning, which I almost prefer actually. Instead of putting that same pressure and load on the spine, I like the Zercher style where it's in the elbow crease. So that's what we're going to kind of go with. So I'm anchoring and got my feet nice and wide, toes slightly turned out. I'm going to focus on hinging at my hip. Nice flat back, drive up, squeezing the glutes. 10 to 15. The Zercher style is great for like functional and combative sports, but also athletics. And even if you just purely care about aesthetics, it's a nice variation to work in. Especially if you have kids like I do. I work in Zerchers wherever I can because I always want to be able to pick my kids up, no matter how old they get, no matter how big they get. Same thing with Carrie, my fiance. I'm always going to be able to pick her up. That's the mission. 9. Probably going to have to go up my next set, but we'll probably actually keep it here. 11. 12. I got 5 more minutes. Might have to only do 2 sets of this one. And 15. Bam. So just going to jot that down. We did what? Green bands, black bands, Zercher. We do 15. Sure. So you got the comments here. No, the girl. Oh, what's up, Kennedy? No, what's going on, dude? No, the girls aren't here. But I appreciate the comments, by the way. I see you. The girls are at school. They should be out of school. Now they're going shopping right now with Carrie to get some Christmas gifts. What's going on, homie? The girls will probably be back. I'm going to be on calls, though, until I think 4:30. And then we'll do dinner. So if you swing by, you can play with the kids. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not having kids for 100 years. not talking about you, Jim. I'm saying if you want to come by to hang with the kids. Ironically, one of my kids friendly. Kenny, I'm assuming you don't have school today. And checking to see where the kids are at. All right, that's already a minute rest. We're going to go into another round of our floor press and good mornings. And then I'm probably going to have to bounce out of here after 2 supersets instead of 3, just because I've got coaching calls. But I'm going to give you guys another angle so you can see it from the backside. And then we'll take it from there. Drive. Let me just, yeah, there we go. Uh-oh. Fatigue is real, y'all. Only 2 rounds. I'm feeling that. Okay. It's going to be the last one on the Good Morning Sue for our searchers, and then I got to get out of here, get into the rest of my coaching calls for the day. Now, if I want to, what I could do for the searchers, which actually maybe I'll do, instead of having only 1 band, I can pull the slack out, have both bands, and doing searchers that way. This increases the resistance quite a bit without having to add more bands to the mix. So we're doing double band resistance versus single band, which changes the resistance load overall. All right, that's our last. I literally have just enough time to cool down and get out of here. I'm gonna take a minute for the cool down. Hang up all the gear. Thank you everybody for hopping in, tuning into the live stream. I'll be back either tonight or most likely tomorrow doing a meal prep live stream, just logging all the data. We got 37 minutes, 300 calories, average heart rate 115, highest of 160. Gotta love the data. But again, I'll be back either tomorrow or definitely on Sunday for our office hours. Make sure you guys are following, subscribing, commenting if you're enjoying, and I will be back. Pieces, y'all. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, Kennedy. Go in the door and be in there. Definitely don't do that. Don't do that, Kennedy, you crazy goose. But we'll see you later when the kids are here.